Hello everyone, this is HGS here back with some more StarCraft 2 Heart of the Swarm WCS 1v1 action. That is quite the title there that I've thrown together. Either way, it is going to actually be from the round of 4. In the last series, I accidentally set a time or two that it was from the round of 4. That was actually the round of 8, and this is actually the round of 4. And I was looking through my old replays on my channel, and I realized since the Brood War days, I've actually not cast that much Jaedong, and that's kind of sad because the Dong is really who got me into StarCraft 2, or I should say he was the player who was rising to prominence as I was getting into professional StarCraft 2. Now, of course, I've always been a big StarCraft fan, been playing it since about 6 months after its initial release, and obviously I love it a lot, but as far as following the pro scene, I didn't really follow it until around when Jaedong started to be super popular. And of course, I was super happy when he, number one, has made it this far in the tournament, and when, more importantly, he actually switched over to StarCraft 2. So either way, I figured, you know what, this is going to be a little bit of a self-service here, if you will. I'm honestly just casting this to see how well Jaedong actually does. And also, we did watch that last game with First, and he really did struggle versus Alive. I mean, he did win the series. He did barely win it 3-2. So I want to see, is Jaedong at the peak of his game right now? Is he going to be able to make it to the finals, or is First now officially warmed up and kind of ready to go? So this could actually go either way. I want to say that after watching Jaedong so far throughout this tournament and watching First in the last game, I'm going to give a favorite to Jaedong in this series, but you never really know. It's just whoever is playing better that day, as we do have the hatchery now. Got to be down at the natural. I guess I should revoke that statement. Usually in StarCraft, the better player wins, especially in a best of 5. That is where the rubber meets the road. I don't think that quite means what I think it means, but either way, in best of 5s, rarely will the inferior quote-unquote player actually end up winning. Just because of best of 5, yeah, you can use a couple gimmicky things, but at the end of the day, you're going to have to start relying on those, on the mechanics that a better player is going to have in order to win those games. So either way, we are going to be having the Forge Fast Expand coming on down. Pretty typical here for First. Not going to be the first time he's done this build. Actually, looks like the probe there may have tried to cannon rush or at least hide out for a moment. Does decide to go ahead and throw down a gateway instead, opting not to go for the cannon rush, especially since Jaedong, guess what, he's already got the spawning pool, already got Lings on the way, so he is going to be able to kill off any sort of cannon or anything like that may have gone down behind his mineral line. And I gotta say, I mean, this is the small things that Jaedong actually used to do in Brood War a lot, and you may watch this and be like, Husky, tons of players do that, and that is true, but not all players. So this is kind of my pro tip of the day for just not being a Bronze League Heroes, though, is that hiding the drone down here used to be super common in Brood War, and notice how it actually did work versus that probe there. So unfortunately for First, that expansion is going to go up. He will be able to scout it, but he's unable to delay it in any way, which he would have loved to do with the pylon or something like that, or keeping the probe there as long as possible. And we do have the Cybernetics who are going to be up on the way, as First does have his natural down and ready to go. We'll just have to wait and see what his tech choice is going to be, though, and honestly, how much gas is he getting here? He does have the double gas in the main, is not rushing gas at the expansion. This isn't uncommon or anything, but is not going to be doing anything super sneaky like that. And we'll know within the next minute or two, is he going to go for more gateways? Sometimes you'll see 2 more gateways added on right now. Sometimes you will see a robotics. I would say the majority of the time you see robotics. Sometimes you do see a Stargate as well. And you can also see Twilight Council on the back of it. So lots of things that you can actually do with this. What is his option going to be the one that he chooses? We're about to find out. But either way, third base is going to be nearly done here for Mr. Jaedong. And the Dong can really go for whatever he wants at this point. This is kind of how Zerg is played out in PvZ, given the current pace of the game. Really, Zerg can go, you know, do I want roaches? Do I want to go for, you know, kind of some Roach Hydra? Do I want to go for the late game and mass expand? It's really up to them. But the Stargate got to be what First decides to throw down first. Hey, yo, bad puns all day when I'm casting First games. This isn't the first time I've made bad puns, guys. Let's be honest, am I right? But either way, we did the Stargate. Got to be about halfway done here. Does he go for an Oracle? Does he go for Phoenix? Does he go for a Void Ray? I'm going to guess Phoenix. I'm going to guess a Phoenix, guys. I'm putting it all out there. We'll see if that's what he goes for. I mean, Phoenix are honestly the most common air unit you're going to see versus Zerg. Number 1, because Overlords are nice and juicy. Number 2, because if you force your opponent to throw down Spore Callers, that's basically like you're killing a drone, if you want to think of it like that. Either way, you're going to be reducing their drone count. And number 3, just good for scouting. Number 4, good versus Hydralisks later. So yeah, It is indeed going to be a Phoenix, so really no surprise there. There's going to be the extra 2 gateways we were talking about added on. Normally, you'll see that either before tech, if they're a little bit worried about a rush, or after tech, if you think you can get away with rushing that tech early, which first is going to be able to. However, the Overlord, even though he's going to be dying, and we will mourn him at the Overlord funeral a little bit later, even though he died, he got to see, number 1, that there's Phoenix now on the field, number 2, that obviously tells him that there is a Stargate, and number 3, and I would say almost as importantly, is that he saw the Chrono Boost being used on that Stargate. So that tells him, all right, it's not just one Phoenix. It's not just a singular Phoenix trying to kill my Overlords around the map. He's actually pretty serious about committing to this. Now, Jaedong, always being the adamant pro, is going to be throwing down Spore Crawlers. Now, these Spore Crawlers are going to be a little bit late, but I'm going to use the air quotes on the term late because, look at this, the Queen's not going to die. And I don't know why he actually went for the Queen. I think he could have gone for a drone here just as easily. Maybe he decides to push out later with the ground army, and we'll be using that damage on the Queen to try and kill it off a little bit easier. Or the Phoenix could easily move in, maybe snipe that Queen again if they go from the right angle. Did they see these upgrades? Only one. Only one. That second one is actually extremely well hidden. No, so he's going to go for the ones on the gas, and that drone had a hilarious death animation there, falling from the sky and then breaking in half. But either way, go for the ones on gas if you can as Protoss here, because that is one more action that the Zerg needs to do to get that gas income once again. It also delays the gas income, which is super important for Zerg. And also, they may forget to put them back in there. It very rarely happens, but hey, it's worth going for those instead. And actually, the sentries right here have got to be careful. I think Jaedong is actually going to lose a lot of links here without actually killing anything. Only 100 resources lost there, so nothing from the army actually died. That's a really big victory here for first. Even though his tech was scouted, he's able to secure that third base safely. He's able to kind of scare Jaedong a little bit from sending out Overlords. Notice how Jaedong has no map vision right now. Sure, he's got an Overlord in the bottom right side, but other than that, all he's got is a center tower here, which you would expect, and no Overlords hanging out anywhere. And might actually lose this Overlord as well. Yes, he will. So Jaedong, I don't want to say he's getting picked apart by this at all, because you are expected to take some sort of damage as Zerg from the Phoenix. There's really no way to prevent an Overlord or two from dying. But at the same time, he is also kind of pushing it here. If he does not do damage to these links right now, he's going to be in a lot of trouble. Looks like the Force is going to be able to save the majority of these sentries here. Well, the Zealot's in a pretty good spot as well. Does this favor first here? He's still losing quite a lot. I think he may end up losing these sentries. The force fields just keep on coming, but guess what? More Zerglays. Jaedong says, okay, you can try and hold this with gateway units. I'm just going to overrule you, though, with mass Zerglings here. This is exactly how I think Zerg was envisioned as being played, is completely overwhelming them with the swarm. I think one Queen's going to go down. Does the other Queen fall? She is hiding there by the Spore Crawlers just fine. So I don't think that is going to be that big of an issue. But either way, Jaedong delaying that third base, I did not honestly expect it. I did not think Mass Link was going to work here, because normally there's enough Zealots, normally there's enough Sentries, or a Colossus, or an Archon, or something to be able to deal with that amount of Lings when you have that many barreling down on you. But Jaedong, I mean, one of the things he's known for, and this is kind of what made me love him in kind of the Brood War days, that he will be aggressive and attack you when you least expect it. And even watching it as a spectator, he will attack constantly, and as a spectator, kind of like, okay, what are you doing here, Jaedong? This isn't going to work. Oh, it worked out. Jaedong, obviously one of the better players. Number one, I would say, in StarCraft 2. I was actually talking to some of my friends who don't watch as much StarCraft 2, and they're like, whatever happened to Jaedong? He hasn't been doing a whole lot. He actually has this year, though. He's actually been doing very, very well, and this is no exception. As the Lings right now, they're taking on a Colossus, Zealot, and Sentry here, which should not work out. This should not be happening. Sure, the Immortal has 7 kills, but those are 7 Zerglings. Jaedong has not been expelling any money in these engagements. Oh my god, more Zerglings on the way. Don't think he's going to get the Nexus this time, but either way, able to actually pull ahead in those resources lost, and the majority of that is going to be Zerglings, which Jaedong can actually afford to sacrifice right now. He just needs to make sure not to take too much damage versus the Phoenix that are currently moving out. But we'll see if these Phoenix can actually intercept something right here. I mean, there are Infestors here, so if he swooped in there, could do a lot of damage. The Lings, though, they never stop. It's these must have been on sale or something, because he's just throwing all of them directly at first. And if he forces the cancel, the cannons were, oh wait, those aren't cannons, those are pylons. But the army also position does not get the cancel there, and that's going to be even more resources lost for first. And the problem here is, and this is actually the geniusness, is that a word? We're going to go with it. The genius of this play is that Jaedong saving up his gas, gets lots of infestors, and he forced Zealots by using so many Zerglings. So Zealots basically hard counterlings once you start to get those upgrades. So he forced the Zealots. Guess what's on the back of this? The infestors are going to be able to fungal the hell out of this army. And they may be saying, well, the infestors aren't going to be that great versus the Colossus. You know what is good versus the Colossus? Ultralisks. Those are going to be on the way because now First right here is pretty afraid to actually make Immortals because all he's seeing is pure Zerglings. Immortals are terrible versus Zerglings, so he's going to go for the Colossus. And then by the time the Colossus count gets up to a manageable number to deal with those Zerglings, then there's Ultilis in your face. So Jaedong currently staying one step ahead throughout this entire game so far. And really, it was all kind of relying on his mass Zergling play doing a little bit of damage at the third. It did, and that's going to set him up in a beautiful position here. Where are those Phoenix at? Unfortunately, wrong place, wrong time, unable to intercept any of these drones. But honestly, at this point, I don't know if drones are actually going to be playing that big of a role here. Yes, he can chase these down, and oh, there he goes. He's going to spot a couple of them transferring over. But really, I mean, a couple drones here and there is not actually that great. How many workers has he killed? He has killed 11, which is nice. Still not really enough, though. Overall resources lost. Is still favoring Protoss. It was favoring Jaedong there for a little bit, but I do just have to say Jaedong up to 4 bases. Jaedong's income about 1,000 ahead, maybe 800. It is kind of changing up and down there a little bit. But either way, this is not a comfortable spot for first. He's going to have to start looking for a 4th base or find a very effective way to defend his 3 bases that he currently has without letting the Ultralist count get too out of control. And I don't think the Phoenix Harass is going to be the best way to do that. Might actually have to go for War Prism play, which he does have the robotics on the way, so maybe he's going to be adding that into his play here. And probably just wants to pick up these Infestors if possible instead. Yeah, he does pick 1 up there. I don't know if he's even going to kill that off. He can easily transfuse it. Transfuse on the Infestor. World's best boss is Jaedong. Got to be saving all those units, and that Phoenix Harass has now come crashing to an end. And, I mean, not that he was going to be able to really do too much, because look, there's just Spore Clawers at every single base, except for, no, there's even one here at the 4th base. So, that wouldn't have been able to do too much anyways, as it does look like Jaedong continuing to move out. This might actually be the end of the game right now. Notice he's throwing down Desperation Gateways to try and hold the line here. Will it actually work? He is going to get the Infestors kind of branded that choke point, but the Ultras, they don't care. They're just going to beast mode their way in there. The Immortal, what is he shooting back there? He needs to be going for the Ultras for sure. Unfortunately, he's going for, I think, Infested Terrans. And the Ultras, are they actually able to break in here? Jaedong honestly doesn't even care. He's just going to be mass transfusing. If he loses this army, that's going to be a shocker to me. He is forced to retreat right now. Jaedong, though, don't count him out because he has 80 Zerglings on the way. And that is not even an exaggeration. He's already got 60 on the field, 36 more in production. And that's going to make First to have a false sense of security because look at that split. Jaedong immediately getting the perfect concave here. Is going to be engaging the army as soon as it moves out. I think First may be regretting this in just a moment. And indeed, he will be getting too excited after winning that one battle. Unfortunately, did not have enough. There's going to be the GG. Jaedong absolutely able to destroy First in this first game. And that means he's only 2 games away from advancing to the finals. Can First actually kind of pull this one back? I may have been fanboying a little bit too hard on Jaedong, but in all honesty, after watching First last series, narrowly able to be alive, and in a very, I mean, it's kind of hard to say, well, he won, but it was sloppy. I think that he wasn't quite playing Protoss out correctly in the last series. Obviously, it worked out. Obviously, he's here, but we'll see if he makes any tweaks to his game to advance to the finals. We'll find out in game number 2. Hope you guys enjoy it, and I'll see you guys next time.